Hello my amazing people, welcome back to the channel. Now in this video I'm going to take you through every step on how you can create your very first e-commerce website without any technical skills. And the only money you're going to spend on this tutorial is basically to acquire your domain and hosting for a year, and this will cost you about $47. And then the other tools that we are going to be using in this tutorial, from the plugins, WooCommerce, Elementor, the page builder, and also the payment gateways we're going to be using, they are all totally for free. So in case you ever wanted to create your very first website or to create your very first e-commerce website or a web shop, this is a tutorial for you. So without any further ado, let me take you straight into what we are going to be building in this tutorial. So the website we are going to create is going to look exactly like this one over here, and it will have a logo, it will have a menu, it will have an account page, a cart page, and a contact page, and also a shop icon. It will have the first hero section, it will have the products, and these are single products. We'll also have a product on sale. I'll show you how to create this. And we'll also have a product that has variable options, for example, in size, in color, and so on. We'll also add a section that looks just like this over here, like a call to action. And we'll also add some testimonials on our website. The other thing that I'll show you how to do is, for example, creating these individual pages and assigning headers specifically to some pages. So for example, this header is specific to only about page, the home page, and the contact page. And if we go to the shop page, you realize that actually that page has a different header, just like this over here. I'll show you exactly how you can do that. And under the shop page, I'll show you how to add these widgets over here, whereby you can even filter products based on the prices, and also you can filter your products based on a product tag that you select over here. I'll show you how to list your products on your shop page over here. And for example, if we open up a single product, I'll show you exactly how you can create a product that looks just like this, and also how to add your images, adding a featured image. And at the same time, I'll show you how to add a customer review, how to create a product on sale, like this is the usual price, but now it is on sale for only $6.99, adding a short product description, adding the product inventory, and also accepting back orders for that specific product, and also adding a buy now button for PayPal. But I'll also show you how to add another payment platform like Stripe besides PayPal. I'll also show you how to add, for example, additional information over here for a product, and also how to add a product review for a specific product, or how your visitors can actually review your products on the store. I'll also show you how to add widgets on your shop page or WooCommerce pages, and also in case someone buys, they're able to access their account or even accessing the cart. For example, if now someone adds this product to the cart, they will be redirected automatically to the cart page. They can add a number of products in case they're taking two, and then they can update. And down below here, they're able to enter in their address, which will determine how much money they're going to be paying for the shipping fees. Then someone is actually able to proceed to the checkout. And on the checkout page, they can feed in their billing details, their country of residence, and their email address. Right over here, they have the option to choose whether to pay with PayPal or credit card. The version of PayPal we are going to set up will actually allow someone, even if they don't have a PayPal account, to pay you using PayPal before they actually own a PayPal account. And down below here, someone is able to pay using Stripe so that you can receive all the funds in your Stripe account, and your site visitors only need to own one of the credit cards or debit cards that Stripe accepts. Then someone is able to place an order. That aside, I will show you how to create your contact page. And remember now, the contact pages are having a different header from all the other pages, and also adding a contact form just like this over here, and also adding a call to action and adding testimonials right to your contact page. I'll show you how to create a footer that looks just like this over here, and adding the footer menu to your footer, how to create or generate your terms and conditions, your privacy policy, and a lot more. So in a nutshell, I'll show you how to get a domain name and hosting. Both of these, they will cost you about $47 every year. And then I'll show you how to install WordPress and WooCommerce, the software that actually allows you to turn your website into a shop or an e-shop. And then I'll show you every other step on how you can create your pages, how to create products, how you can actually secure your website using an SSL certificate, and also at the end of the day, I'll show you how to create your first logo for free and that you can use it on your website. So in case you have never created a website before, in case you don't have any experience or technical skills, to build your first website, I can promise that this is the tutorial for you, that you're going to follow every step by step without needing to know any technical language on how to build websites. And if you've never built a website before, again, this tutorial is for you. In order to have your website online, you'll need two things. You'll need a domain name and hosting. A domain is basically the name that people will type into the address bar, like for example, this one over here, and they'll be able to access your website. So for example, this is the domain name for my blog, which is gotechug.com. And once you have the domain name, the other thing you should have is hosting. Hosting is basically the space on the internet where your website files will be saved. And whenever someone accesses your domain name will be pointed to your host or your server so that people can be able to access the files that are hosted over there. And that is why in this tutorial we'll need a domain name and hosting so that your website will be online by the time you are done building it. So to get a domain name and hosting, you're going to enter in here to the new tab and go to gotechug/HostGator. Once you are over here, you're simply going to come over here to hosting and click on shared hosting. So when you are here, there are a couple of plans that you can subscribe to. There is one for a single domain, one for unlimited domains, and one for still unlimited domain. But of course, you have more features over right here. In this case, I kindly recommend you to get a baby plan and you'll save about 60%. And at the same time, you will have unlimited domains. However, in this tutorial, since I'm not looking forward to adding more domains on my hosting, I'll simply go for a single domain package and I'll simply click over here, buy now. And down here, I'll have to include a domain that I want to use. So in this case, this is going to be the domain I want to use, gowoo.com. Okay, it's available. And if your domain is not available, that means that you'll have to try more other options so that you can have a domain name that is available that you can easily buy. Down here, I'll simply not include the domain privacy. So I'll simply uncheck that. I'm going to come over here on the package type and I'll select hashlink plan. And I want this for only 12 months. Okay, so the other thing I have to do is to include my email that I'm going to be using with this account. So I'm going to include the email over here. So Hamza, this can be your Gmail, it can be or even your business email, and I will confirm my email by copy pasting, and I will simply generate a password. Make sure that you use a strong password when you're signing up over here, and then I will simply add a security pin that I can easily forward to the support in case I need their help. And then down below here, I'm going to add my names and all that stuff. The payment option, I'll be using PayPal. So I select that first. Now, once that is done, then we're going to simply go down below here. I'm going to uncheck all these services because we really want to spend the least amount possible when we're purchasing this package. So I already have here a shared coupon code that gives me the 60% of discount. And by the look of things over here, it looks like I'm only going to spend about, $50. Check out now. I'll log into my PayPal account and then I'll be able to make the payment. Looks like my payment has gone through and now I'm going to get started setting up my account. But in case you're having issues with checking out, you can simply contact the support of HostGator, of which they offer a live support system. So inside our portal, after purchasing our web hosting and then the domain also, we are taken to this page over right here. And now what we have to first confirm is that we have our domain active. Come over here to the domains area and make sure that the domain you purchased, which is here, should be activated. Now, if it's not yet active, you can simply contact the support and let them know about your issue. But once it is activated, you can simply just come back here to the dashboard. And then you are simply just going to click over here under the control panel, click on install WordPress. This will take you straight to a portal whereby you'll be able to install WordPress on your server or on your host. And right here, I'm simply going to say install. You can choose the WordPress version or you can leave everything on default over here. We will change the site name and description later on, but the most important part over here is the admin account details. So I'm going to say admin.go is my account, add my password over here, and the email is the admin email. I'll show you later on how to create this email. So once you have that set up, now you can simply say install. Looks great. Our WordPress has been installed. So now I'll simply just come back here to the hosting portal, and I'm going to click here on the launch cPanel option. Now this will take me into our control panel, or the control panel where all your website files will be seated. And inside here we are able to create our business email by coming over here to email section, and then I can say email accounts. And here I'm going to add a new email account that I'm going to be using. It can be admin at your website, it can be your name. Then here you generate a password. There goes my password. I'll allocate space for this email. I'll make it to be unlimited space. So I create the account. Now the account has been created. So to log into this email over here, to be able to read and send out emails, you simply click over here on more and say access webmail. Here I'll be redirected to the webmail account or to the webmail platform. Then here I'll choose Roundcube. So I'll set it as default. Okay, cool. So now I'm logged into this webmail account. So to access the webmail without necessarily logging to your cPanel, you simply just click over here, add a new tab, add your domain, and then you're going to say /webmail. Now this will straight take you to the webmail access point where you'll have to enter in your username and the password. So over here, I'm going to enter in the email address, which is my business email, and then I'll enter in the password, and boom, I log in, and automatically I'll log into my business account of my website. So now let's head straight and log into our WordPress website. So once you have your domain name registered and your hosting space, then you'll have to log into your dashboard over here and simply come over here to domains, and you'll have to make sure that you look up that your domain is activated and available in this section. If it's not yet available, then that means you have to wait for a little bit for the domains team to activate it and you get started. Once it is activated, you'll have again to wait for about 24 to 48 hours so that it propagates, and that means you'll be able to simply come over here to a new tab and you'll have to enter in your domain name, and you'll be able to access a web page that will look just like this over here. Okay, now once you are able to access this web page, then now we are able to log into our WordPress website backend where we are able to make changes. Now to log into the back end of your website, you'll simply come over here to the admin bar and you'll have to enter in a /wp-admin, and this URL will take you to a login page that enables you to log into your WordPress website backend. And over here you'll have to enter in your username and the password. The username is what we set up when we were installing WordPress, and this is the username, and the password is basically the password we set up also that we had actually to save somewhere. And over here I'll copy my password and then I'll paste it over here, and then I have to log in. Boom, now I'm into my WordPress website, and this is where we are going to be making all the changes and designing our WordPress website. The first thing we are going to do is simply come over here to settings, general settings, and we are going to give our website a name, and this is going to be called Martha Quetta. Over here we're going to add a tagline, handmade ceramics. Okay, and this is the URL for our website, and this is the admin email that I already showed you how you can create it, and of course this is the email where you will be getting all the email notifications. Now we can set up our time zone. For my time zone it is +3, so it is over right here, and my week starts on Sunday. That's it for now. I'm simply going to save changes, and after saving changes we're going to come right down here to the permalinks, and we're going to make sure that our permalinks are set to post name, so that whenever someone is visiting, let me say the home page, over right here it will appear as the home page rather than having a generic number or page number or something like that. So once that is done, we can also come over here to the reading settings, and we will be able to set up later our static page and home page. Now before we set up our static page, we are going to first of all go and create those pages. To create pages, you simply come over here to pages, add a new page, But before we add new pages, I can simply come over here to all pages, and you realize that we have just a few pages that are installed once we install WordPress. So to add a new page, I simply say add a new page, and the page we are going to add is going to be a page that will look just like this, which is the home page, and it will have all this content. And we'll also add a page that is called the about page, and also the contact page, and also the blog page. So the pages of the shop and my account will be automatically imported once we install WooCommerce, which I'm going to show you later on in a while. So once I'm over here, I'm going to simply add a page title, which is home. I'll simply say publish, and now I've published my home page. Then I'm going to simply just come over here, and I'm going to add another page. So I'll simply say add a new page, and the new page is going to be the about page. So I'll simply say about, so publish, and then I'm going to come back over here. I'll create another page called the contact page. So I come over here, then I'll add contact, publish, and publish. Now I will come back over here still to the WordPress logo to take me back to the main menu. I come to pages. You realize that we have all these pages over here. Now when I go back to settings, reading settings, you realize that when we click over here on static page, we have pages to select from. In this case, I'll select the home page, and the posts page is basically the archive page for blog posts, but for now we haven't yet created that. I'll just leave it just as it is. So I'll simply say save changes. Now when we go back to our home page, you realize that now our home page has changed to something different. You see, now we have this as our home page rather than the page that we had earlier when we had just installed WordPress. So we are now done making the basic settings for our WordPress website. Next, what we are going to do is we are going to install a theme and plugins that we are going to be using on our website. So to install a theme, we are going to come over here to appearances. We're going to say themes, and this takes us to this dashboard over here. We simply add a new theme. The theme we are going to be using for this tutorial is called Astra theme. It's a free theme and the most popular WordPress theme, and it's really good at holding or managing WordPress e-commerce sites. So I'll simply install, and then I'll activate that theme. Now once you install a new theme, it makes some changes to your website theme files and of course the CSS. And now when we view our website, you realize that now things have changed. So what I'm going to do is simply close over this, and now we're going to install the plugins that we're going to be needing in this tutorial for now. So to install plugins, we come over here to plugins menu, and we say add a new plugin. But before we even add a new plugin, let's first look into how many plugins we have at the moment by simply coming to install plugins. And you see over here that we have a number of pre-installed plugins, but we don't need any of these pre-installed plugins. So I'll simply just select these active ones. I'll deactivate them, and then I'm going to select all of them at once, and I'm going to simply say delete them so that I can delete all these plugins. So now once all these plugins are deleted, now we can add a new plugin or add plugins that we want to use. So the first plugin we're going to be using is called WooCommerce. WooCommerce is a plugin that will manage our website as a store or an online store. So it enables us to create products and even services that we can sell on our website. So once it shows up over here, it's over 5 million installs. I'll simply install. Once it is installed, I'll activate it. Okay, now it will take me straight to a setup wizard whereby I'm going to talk about what my shop is all about and what I am selling. So I'll simply say yes. So I'll enter in my address or the address of my shop and the country. I'm in Uganda and basically in Kampala, which is the capital. Then the city is Kampala and the postcode is that one, and I'm setting it up for myself. Pop-up that asks us if we want to build a better WooCommerce store, get improved features, and all this. So no, I'll just continue. And then over here, I'm going to select, what kind of products I'm selling on my, store. I think we are under home, furniture, and garden. So I'll simply continue. And over here, there are a couple of, add-ons that we can use in our WooCommerce website. But at the moment, we are going to be selling only physical products, nothing else. So I'll simply just continue. And here they ask us how many products do I plan to display. I'll say 1 to 10 or 11 to 100, but in this case 1 to 10. So currently, am I selling elsewhere? No, I'm not selling on any other platform, and I don't want to, use any of these other services at the moment. So I'll simply just continue. Okay, cool. Now here it asks us which theme we want to use. We are going to be using, Astra theme, and it is asking us if we want to install Jetpack. No, we don't want to use Jetpack. The quick wizard setup is complete. Now what we can do something else is maybe by coming over here to settings, and under the settings photo for WooCommerce is where we can add more extra settings for our web shop. So over here, of course, it gives you all the details about the store and the general options. Selling options, we sell to all countries. No, I'm not selling to all countries, I'm selling to specific countries, and these are the the 5 English speaking countries. These countries include United States, United Kingdom, New Zealand, Canada, and Australia. So these are the only countries I'm selling to. And shipping locations, ship to all countries you sell. Yes, this is what I do. And default customer location, and basically we are going to leave all the other options on default because we are selling also in this currency. So I'm going to say save changes. So we will leave our shop page to the real shop page, and then we'll have to enable a redirect to the cart page after successful addition. Now this means that when someone adds an item to the cart, then they will be redirected to the cart page. Now we are going to leave all these measurements just as they are, and under the inventory we will enable the stock management. Now this means that our website will display that we have this number of items in stock. Now that's what we are trying to enable over here, and also we enable all the notifications on either low stock or out of stock, and all emails will be coming over to this email, which is our admin email, and I showed you how to create this kind of email. Under the downloadable products, remember our website is going to be only for physical products, and we are going to simply leave this as it is on default. So we go over to shipping. Over here we are able to add a shipping zone. Now a shipping zone is a geographic region where a certain set of shipping methods are offered. So under our shipping zones, we already created 2 shipping zones, the local delivery and the global delivery, 2 countries where we actually do ship our products. Okay, remember we can only ship to countries where we are selling, and we offer local delivery within Uganda, and globally we ship to these 5 English speaking countries. So now let's try to add a shipping zone to our website. What we do is simply say add a shipping zone, and over here we are going to say, for example, local delivery. So local delivery, and this is only within Uganda. Apparently Uganda is not showing up over here simply because we have not offered to sell products to people in Uganda. So now this means that we have to go back to our general settings, and we are going to actually make sure that we are also selling products to people in Uganda, and also that we actually ship products to people who are in Uganda. So once we have done adding our country, then I'm going to simply save changes. I'm going to go back to our shipping tab, and now I'm going to add a shipping zone. Now over here I'm going to add our first shipping zone, which is local delivery, and the region we're going to add Uganda. Now it shows up. Okay, And the shipping method, or the method over here, it's basically a local pickup. Okay, and this means that someone can come over and they pick up their items. Next, we can enable, free shipping or flat rate shipping. In this case, since they are within Uganda, we can say anyone around Uganda, we can easily ship out items to their locations. So under the flat rate, I'm going to make it non-taxable, and the cost is just $1.5. And in case they decide to come and pick up the items from our store, that means that we won't be charging them anything, so the charges will be 0. Okay, now that is done. Next, we are going to add another shipping zone by simply adding over here, add a shipping zone, and this is global. And the regions, basically United Kingdom, United States, to the countries where we actually sell our items, Canada, New Zealand, and the very last one is Australia. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'm going to add a shipping method. So we are basically offering a flat rate to all these countries. So we add a flat rate shipping method, and we're going to edit this. It's non-taxable, and we're going to make it to be roughly $5 to any of those countries where we're shipping. Now this will differ depending on which countries you're going to ship to, because the distances are different, and maybe there can also be some custom charges involved. Now we are done adding up our shipping zones. Now it means that we have 2 of our shipping zones. Now under the shipping options, here we're going to leave everything on default, but we can also decide on which shipping destination we should choose on the checkout, whether to use the billing address of the client or actually the shipping address that the client declares at the checkout. I'm going to leave this at the default settings. So under the shipping classes, we're not going to set up any shipping class at the moment, but I'm going to make a specific tutorial explaining to you how these shipping classes actually work. So once you're done watching this video and you want to see how you can use shipping classes, which actually can be used to group products of similar type and can be used by some shipping methods, such as flat rate, to provide different rates to different classes of a product. So I'll show you this in another tutorial, but I'm just going to leave this at the basic settings and the basics, so that as you're getting started with your e-commerce website, you can get rolling. Now under the payments, we are going to come back later on in the tutorial, and then we set up our payment option, and I show you how to do this once we are done creating our products. So under the accounts and privacy, here you can enable a guest checkout, allow clients, even if they haven't yet signed up on your website, to actually check out or make a purchase. An account creation, when creating an account, automatically generate an account username for a customer based on their name, username, or their email. And over here you can when creating an account, automatically generate an account password. Now this is when someone actually purchases and they decide to actually create an account at the checkout. This is what you're trying to set up at the moment. All this information over here, the privacy data for the registration, when someone is registering for an account, this is what they are going to read once they check the box of create an account as they're checking out. And then also the checkout privacy information, this is what will appear, and it will link up to a privacy policy page. This is the page that you set up as your privacy reminder or your privacy terms that your clients subscribe to once they are using your website. Okay, now we are going to leave everything over here on the default settings. We head over to the email section. Now these are all email templates on, for example, what the client and you will receive once an order or something happens on this website. For example, if there is a new order, you receive an email and it will be a new order email. And if it's, let me say, a cancelled order, a failed order, a completed order, refunded order, customer note, these are all templates, what you will be receiving. And for example, if someone creates a new account, they'll receive an email, And now when I open up for you how this works like, of course we've enabled a notification, and the subject of the email will be that your site account has been created. Now this will be sent to the customer who signs up via the checkout or the account pages, and the heading will be like welcome to your website name, which is in this case Martha Mkweta, which we are going to change to Martha Mags. Then later on it will actually be sent out in HTML, and you can choose how this should appear like, and basically that's how the email will be sent out. So coming over here to the integration section, this is where you can link up to different other services your website uses. At the moment I'm going to leave everything over here on default, and under the advanced section, this is where we set up how our pages are going to work with WooCommerce. So the cart page will actually redirect to the cart, and also the checkout page will actually redirect to the checkout page. My account page will redirect to the my account. Now maybe you have questions like, we haven't yet created these pages, how do they come to be available? Now once you install WooCommerce, it pre-installs other pages that are necessary for your website to work. When we come back here now to pages, you remember we had only created a few pages: the home page, the about page, the contact page. But now you realize that we actually have new pages listed in our website. We have the cart page, checkout page, we have the account page, and the shop page. Now these are all pages that were brought in by WooCommerce. Now remember, down here we also have to set up our terms and conditions page. So how do you do that? You simply come back here to your pages, add a new page, and over here you're going to add terms and conditions. So, or you simply can name it terms page, and you can simply hit publish and publish. Now we can also add our content on our terms and conditions. So how do you add content? So you can simply just add a new tab, and then grab your terms page generator, and there are a couple of websites that will show up over here. So we can just simply click on any of this, and you can simply just say create terms and conditions. You can add your website name, Martha Mags. The website is go-woo.com. That is the website name. Under the website name we have to add Martha Mags, and click next. And the country, which is Uganda. Email address is admin@go-woo.com, and then we generate the terms and conditions. So over here we can simply just copy our terms and conditions, come back here to our page, and you can simply just paste them. You can as well make changes to your terms and conditions over here by editing. So once you're done, simply update. So we head back to our pages, and you realize that we have our terms and conditions page created just a few minutes ago. Now what we're going to do is come back here to our WooCommerce page settings. We are going to reload this page. Okay, now over here we can select our terms and conditions page, which we've just created. Boom, there we have our terms and conditions page. Now we're going to leave all the other settings over here on default, and we simply save changes. In this section, I am going to show you how to create a single product for your e-commerce website. So a single product will look something like this, whereby it shows the product name, the short description of the product, a button to add the product to the cart, the product stock keeping unit, which is a unique number, the category where that product falls, the tags, and the description or the full description of that product. Without any further ado, let's get started. So inside your website, you're going to come over here to products, and you're going to simply say create a product. The product we are going to create is called a bowel. So we're going to say bowel, and then we're going to come and grab this short description, copy it, and we are going to paste it over here. You can also write your own short description of that product. Then I'm going to come down below here and I'll copy the full description of the product. I'll paste it over here. You can, take your time and write your website content or your product content. Now, the other thing that we are going to do is to add the pricing and the different images for this specific product. Come below down here to the product data, and then we are going to simply select a single product. Okay, so it's not a virtual product and it's not a downloadable product. The regular price for this product is $7.99. So I'll say $7.99. However, we want to also make a sale so that the first people who are going to actually visit our website can buy this product for a discount. So we are going to say it's going to be $6.99. Then down below here is something called the inventory. So the inventory involves the stock keeping unit number, and this means that it's a unique number for that specific product. So in this case, I'm going to add the unit for this product. It can be 100, but in this case, I'm going to make it to be 350. Maybe that's the unit for this specific product. Then there's something called manage stock. So managing the stock, you can enter the quantity of this number of barrels you have at your website or in your store. So in this case, I'm going to add, maybe we have like 30, and maybe we can allow back orders. And if we do allow back orders, it will also notify the customer. That is, if we select this option over here, now means that once these items are over, a client can still back order for this item. For the low stock threshold, this means that WordPress will notify you, the website administrator, that hey, this product is running out of stock, so you should consider restocking. So we want to tell WordPress that if we have this number of items in stock, please notify me about it. So in this case, I'm going to make it to be 10. That once it's 10 in stock, that means that WordPress should notify me. There is also another option over here to select if this item is sold individually. No, it can be bought along with other products. Shipping. Here we'll have to determine the size of the item by weighing it. So in this case, I'll choose 0.5. Maybe that is too much. Maybe it's only 300 grams. And the dimensions, here you will take time to measure your item. So in this case, I'll say 3, and then 5 and 4. So once you get the correct measurements for your items, then you can simply enter in over there. Then the shipping classes, no shipping classes. And now we are going to go down below here on the link products. We don't have any products that are linked to this product yet. Let's go to the attributes. Now this is very important. Under the attributes section is where we can add the different options available in that single product. So over here we can say add an attribute, and we can add an attribute of color. And inside here we are going to enter in the different colors of that product. So we may have black and white, and then you have to add a pipe. The pipe basically separates the different options that you have. Then we're going to add one called textured or colored. So I'll make it to be colored, and those are the only options we have in our store. Next, we can choose whether to make this product visible on the product page. Yes, we want it to be visible on the product page. The other thing that we can do is also add another, attribute. But in this case, we're only interested in this. It can be another attribute of size. Let me set by saying add another attribute, say size. And here we can say small size, medium, and large. But remember, you entered the specific sizes of this product, and that means that it will affect the options that you put over here in the size option. So in this case, I'm simply going to not use this option for the size because each individual item is having a different size. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is to simply say save attribute. Now we have saved our one attribute, which is on color, which is shown just right over here. Once we are done with setting up our attributes, under the advanced options, we can add a purchase note. This is basically a message that is shown up to the client once they have purchased this product. So we can say thank you for purchasing this handmade bowel. And down below here we can enable reviews, and I'm going to show you how that works. So what we're going to do is simply to now first save. Now saving actually helps you, just in case anything happens, you still have your data in your WordPress website. Next, what we are going to do is want to add categories and product tags. Okay, so to add a category, you simply come over here to the product categories, and we're going to say add a new category, and we can say a category for bowels. Okay, so we can say create that category, and inside the category option, you see we have already two other categories called texture and wild. So these are already ones that had already created. The other thing we have to do is to add the product tags. We can say bowels, we can say mugs, we can say cups. You can as well add more other product tags that you want. Remember to separate them using a comma. Once you add them, that means that once your client clicks on any of these tags, a product that is linked with any of these tags will show up on their shop page. Next, what we are going to do is to add the product image. So by clicking over here on the product image, I'm going to select the product image that we are going to simply use for the bowel. Once you select your product, then you're going to simply add a name. This name actually helps out that if someone is actually searching for the images of a sugar bowel or a handmade bowel in the search engine, this product over here may show up in the images option. But also it is good for your website search and sort options. So the other option over here called the alt option is like, if the image doesn't show up for any case, in case the internet is slow, the alternate text will actually show up instead of the image. Down below here you can add a description of the product or that image, and you're good to go. I'm not going to do that. I'm simply just going to say set product image, and down below here I'm going to come and set the product gallery or the different options for that product. So what I'm going to do is to control click to select all the images that belong to that product. So I'll add to the gallery. Now what I'm going to do is simply say save the draft. I am going to preview this product to see that everything looks like as it's supposed to be. Cool. So we have our product, which is on sale, having the product image and the different images that belong to the product gallery, and the name of the product. Over here it shows you the discount, a brief description, and how many of these that we have in stock. It is showing that we have only 30 and can also be back ordered. And down here it shows you the SKU number, which is 350. It belongs to the category bowels, and the tags belongs to bowels, cups, and mugs. Of course, you can click and view a larger size of the image. You can scroll through the image gallery, and that's all. Now, coming back here to our editor, I'm simply going to say publish. Now published my first product on my e-commerce website. Now, when I come back here to products, you realize that now I have, one product. And down here it shows the SKU number of that product, how many we have in stock, the category, and the tags of which that product belongs to. And then also I talked about reviews, whereby someone is able to add a review for a product. So let's go and check out how someone can actually add a review in case they purchase this product. So what I'm going to do is simply open up, a window, a private window, and I'm going to enter in the product URL. So I'll paste over here my product URL, and straight up this should take me to a private window where I'm not logged in and I am able to access this product. So what I'm going to do is simply just scroll down below here, come to reviews, and you realize I have this box over here. I can simply fill in and then submit my review for this product. So I can say I've had this bowel at my place and I am super happy I bought it. So down here I'll add
the name, the person who is reviewing, who is me. This looks a little bit buggy. We'll fix it up before we finish up this tutorial. So what I'm going to do is simply add my email. So my email is that email over here, gmail.com, and then I'll submit. Now it has notified me that actually I need to select the star rating. I'll give it a 5-star and I'll simply submit. Cool, I've submitted the review and that review is waiting approval. And you see my image is appearing over right here. Now let me go back to our website dashboard. Now when I come over here to the dashboard, I'll simply reload. And you will notice that over here on the comments, there will come a notification. See, it shows up over here. When I click on that notification, here it shows, someone who has left a comment, and it's, in response to this bowel over here, we can view the product which someone has commented on. And this is the exact product. When we go back, we can choose to approve, we can choose to reply, to edit, or spam, or trash, or say it's a spam comment, or we can trash it. So in this case, I'm going to approve. Now it's approved. Now when I come back to my private window, and I am going to simply paste the URL of the product. Now when I come to reviews, down below here, you see there is one review, and it also appears over here. It's 5 stars. When I click over here, it will show the person who left the review, their name, and the review, and when they actually posted it over here. So that's how clients will be able to review your products on your website. So in a nutshell, that's how you can create a physical and simple product in your WordPress website, and you can add all this additional information and also reviews without any issues. Now next, we are going to look into how we can create a variable product. Now let's head straight and start creating our first variable product. So a variable product looks just like this, whereby someone has an option to choose among the different options on the kind of product they want to order from your store. So in this case, if I want to order instead of black and white texture, so I'll simply select a black and brown one. Once I choose that, even here the image changes. Now let me show you how we can do that in our WooCommerce website. By coming back here to the products, I'm going to say add a new product. I'm going to name the product. It's called Egg Mug, and I'm going to add the product description, which is the product full description. I'll just copy this text over here. I'll paste the text, and then later I'm going to come down here, add our short description. I'll copy this, which is a brief description of this product. I'll paste it over here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to categorize this product. So it's falling under mugs and maybe another category called wild and texture. Now that means that whoever goes to any of these categories, our product will show up. And the product tags includes mugs. We already have a tag called mugs, and also texture. So in case someone wants only textured products, they can simply just click on that tag and the products will show up. So I'll simply add my tag for this product. Now I'm going to come over here to the product data, and I'm going to choose a variable product, which is what we are trying to create. And then we don't have any linked products to this product. And for the attributes, we are going to add or create an attribute. So we're simply going to say add an attribute, and the attribute is going to be in color. And over here, we're going to add our different colors. So it's going to be black and white. Then we're going to add our pipe, and then we add another color option, which is black and brown. Okay, so we are going to choose this to be used for variations. So we're going to say used for variations, and then we're going to save the attributes. So you can even add attributes for size or any other options that you have in that specific product. Then we're going to come over here to the variations, Once you click on variations, we're going to select create variations from all attributes. So we say go after selecting that option. So we have two variations that have been added, and that is the black and white option and then the black and brown option. So when I click over here on this option, I can add a specific SKU or stock keeping unit for this specific product. So this stock keeping unit is going to be 213, and it's not going to be a down level product, a virtual product, but it's going to be a physical product, and we want also to manage the stock. So for these specific black and white egg mugs, we have only 8 in stock, and the price for this is actually $17.99. Okay, it's not on sale, we don't allow back orders, and of course the weight is 4, 6, and 7, and the weight is the same weight, which is 0.5. And for the shipping class, we're going to leave this same as parent, and down below here we have to add the description of this specific product. So you can add your short description for that product. I'll just get over here some dummy text, come back to our product page, and then paste our short description. And then I'm also going to expand the black and brown product. I'm going to add SKU, stock keeping unit number, for this product. We want to manage the stock. We only have, let me say, 20 of these. We don't allow back orders. The weight is literally the same weight, which is 0.5 kg or 500 grams. And the dimensions are the same dimensions, 4, 6, 7. So down below here, we leave it as same as parent, and we're going to add our dummy text or a short description for this specific product. So I'll copy this, come back over here, add it. Then what I'm going to do is simply to save changes, and then later we're going to add featured images for each and every color variation. So I'll simply click over here for the black and white one. I'll come over here and then select the image for the black and white mug or egg mug, and then I'm going to come below here, expand this, click over here, and we add, a featured image for the black and brown one. So I'll select this, or I can simply choose another image. I think this is better, and I'm good to go. So I'll now save changes, but before I save changes, I can also add a featured image, the first default image, black and white one, and the product gallery. I'll add all the images for the different colors. So something like that I'll add to the gallery. So when someone chooses the option for black and brown, the featured image will change to this product. And if they want to see more, the different views, the different sides of that product, then they'll click on the product gallery. Okay, now what I'm going to do is simply save changes on this. So I'll say save. I hope all our options have been added, and also the variations. So when you look over here, everything looks to be nice and neat. We have not actually added a price for the other color, which is black and brown. So I'll come back over here, add $17.99. Make sure the SKU number is actually different, so they should not be the same. So I'll now save. Now we can also preview our product to see how it looks like on the front end. See, we have our default item or product, which is black and white. So which is this over here, brief description of the product and the full description of the product below here. And if now we choose black and brown, you realize, boom, the image changes automatically to the black and brown one. If they want to see the different, sides or angles of this same item, they can simply just click through the gallery. Okay, so down below here also appears the short description for that specific, color option that you chose. If I switch back to black and white, you realize that now this changes. This can be a description of how the color for this specific item was achieved, or the texture. and so on. Now what we are going to do is, since everything looks nice and neat, if we look into our additional information, product, weight, dimensions all look fine, and also the option for review is available. Let's head back and we simply say publish. Once it is published, we are going to simply just say, view the product. We are going to copy this product URL, come to our private window, and I am going to paste that. See how that looks like. You can click over here. You can navigate through the different images of this same product. When I come down below here to choose the color, I choose the black and white one, it will show up. I choose the black and brown one, it shows up. And also take note that the SKU also changes on switching the product. Black and white is 213, black and brown is 214. And that's simply how you can create a variable product in your e-commerce website using WordPress and WooCommerce. In this section, I'm going to show you how to set up your sidebars in your WordPress website. A sidebar is basically this section over here, where you can simply add different widgets. You can add them to the right hand side or to the left hand side. And now we are going to do it for our product page, just like you see this over here, it's empty, and several other pages. So to do that, we're simply just going to head back to our dashboard, and we're going to come right down here under appearance and go to customize. Under customize, we are simply just going to come down below here in the section called sidebars, and here is where we can set up which sidebar appears where. Now the first thing we're going to do is, of course, we have to set up that our sidebar is 30 or takes 30% of the whole page width. That means it will run from here to here for an equivalent of 30% of the total page width. Now we are going to allocate which sidebar appears on the pages, on the blog posts, on the archives, in the WooCommerce pages, and the single product pages. Now when you look over here on our other demo website, you realize that the default layout, we used the right sidebar. So we're simply going to do the same thing. Default layout is the right sidebar. For the pages, blog posts, and archives, we use the same sidebar, which is the default sidebar. And I'm going to show you what appears on the default sidebar. And on the WooCommerce sidebar, we use the left sidebar. So we are going to come over here, come to WooCommerce section, and we're going to use the left sidebar. And the single product page, which sidebar are we using? We are using the default sidebar. So over here, it is the same thing set up as default sidebar. So what I'm going to do is hit publish. Now I'm going to head back, and I'm going to come right down below here where it's called widgets, or in the widgets section. And over there is something called the main sidebar. So the main sidebar has these widgets attached to the main sidebar. So the main sidebar is a default sidebar, but we are not going to set up our sidebars and widgets from the widgets section. What we are simply going to do is we're going to exit this, and once we exit, we will head back to the dashboard, and under the dashboard, come to the appearance section, and we're going to choose widgets. So now you realize we have the main sidebar having the widgets, footer sections, and we also have the WooCommerce sidebar and the product sidebar. So we are going to choose what appears in the WooCommerce sidebar, the product sidebar, the main sidebar, which is the default sidebar. So when you come back over here to our other dummy website, and I exit this section, I'll go straight to the widgets, and under the widgets, you realize that we have the main sidebar, which is this sidebar, and it has literally the same widgets. And now when we head to our WooCommerce sidebar, you realize that we have the product search, the filter products by price, and filter product tag. Now this is exactly what is appearing over here. Product search, filter products by price, and the product tag cloud. Now when we come over here to our shop, this is what they're talking about: the search, the filter by price, and the product tag. So we are simply going to add the same widgets on our website. So we come over here to the widgets area. Remember, now we are on our website. We're going to come to the widget sidebar, and we're going to add our filters. So filter products by price widget. We have added it. We're also going to add another widget, which is a search widget. For here, the product search widget. So by clicking over here, you can add it to whichever section you want, which is the WooCommerce section. I'll say add widget. And then we're going to add the product tag cloud. Okay, I add it over right there. Now I can reorganize them. We want to start with the product search, the filter products by price, and the product tag cloud. I'll say done, done, and done over here. Now when I come back over to our shop page, which is over here, I'll click. Now this should display our WooCommerce sidebar, which is over right here, starting with the product search, filter products by price, and the product tag. Now this is exactly the same, just as it appears over right here. Okay, next what we are going to do now is go and work on the sidebar for our products. So when I click over here, you realize that this sidebar over here is empty. And when you click over right on these other products on our dummy website, realize that we have our widgets over here in the sidebar. So we have the cart widget, and we have the products and the recent viewed products and the product tag. So now let's go and add these widgets. So come back over here to the widgets area. We're going to use the product sidebar. This product sidebar appears on the single product pages. So I'm going to come over right here and select the widgets that we want to appear there. First is going to be a cart widget. So we add it to the product sidebar. Next, we are going to add the products widget. So come back here, look up for the product widget. I add it to our product sidebar. And then we are also going to look up for the other widget, recently viewed products, and then the product tag widget. So come back here, look for the recently viewed products, which is this. We add it to our product sidebar. And lastly, we're going to add the product tag cloud, so which is this. And there we go. So now we have all these. We can enable this option to hide this cart in case the cart is empty. So we save. And then the products, the products to show over here, we want maybe to show 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 products. So by default it is 5. You can add more. You can also sort to show only featured products or to only showcase products on sale. You can order them by date, by price, by random, or by sales. I'll hide that. And then also here we can say the recently viewed products. You can show any number of products, but I want to show a maximum of only 3 products. I say save. And then the product tag cloud, which looks exactly just like this over here for the specific tags that you created on your website. So once that is done, we can simply now head back to our product page, and we are going to reload, and you'll see that now our sidebar will have our products. Boom! You see, now we have, the product cart appearing over here because we already have a product that is within the cart. And down below here, we have the products and the product tag. Remember now, we don't have the recently viewed products appearing down below here because we haven't yet viewed any other products on this site. Okay, now we have set up our sidebars for the WooCommerce and the product pages. We can also set up a sidebar for the other pages like the blog posts. So for example, this is the main one, or the default sidebar includes the search widget, the recent posts, recent comments, archive, and categories. I don't want to add the meta. Now this is what will be displayed on blog post pages in case you are running a blog on your website. Now that's simply it on how you can allocate specific sidebars to specific sections of your WordPress website. In this section, I am going to show you how to create a free logo for your WordPress website. As you can see, our logo option over here is empty, and our site icon option is also empty. The site icon is basically the favicon that appears right up here in the tab. And over here, the site is actually using the site title as the site logo, just like you see here. So to create a free logo, we are simply going to add a new tab, go to techie, then /CV. That URL takes you straight to a platform called Canva, where you can sign up for free and start creating a couple of things from posters, logos, presentations, Instagram posts, Facebook posts, infographics, and a lot more. Now to create a logo, I'm simply going to say create, and then I'll select the option for logo. You can choose from a number of several other widgets that you can add to your logo. In this case, I want to use a text, and I'm going to choose this text box as the heading, and I'm going to name this to be Encrypt Mags, and I am going to simply come over here. I'm going to choose a text or a font that I want to use for my logo. Let me say this one here, or you can basically choose another font face to use. I think Poppins looks a little bit better, so I can come over here, make it bold. I can reduce the size of this logo, I can rotate, I can do a couple of other things like changing it to uppercase, or even I can choose to position it differently at the left of this canvas. I can underline it, but that's not what I want at the moment. What I simply want is to keep it just like this, very simple. Once I'm done with creating my logo, you can add any other shapes that you want. For example, if I come over here, I can say add a shape, and there are pretty number of shapes in Canva that you can simply select and add to your logo. Maybe this shape, you can simply just select it, drag it to position it where I want it to be. I can reposition this, or I can simply just make it go on top over there, and I can make this a little bit smaller. I can select the shape and come over here and change its color, or I give it any other color that I want. So when you look on my site, I'm basically using a little bit of more magenta or red. So what I'm going to do is come over here and maybe give it a little bit of magenta or red, something of that sort. You can flip horizontal or vertical. You can even crop it to be a little bit smaller, but that's not what I want. What I'm interested in is just to make it a little bit visible. But in my case, I don't want to use this icon here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use it as our favicon or site favicon. So I'm going to copy it. I'm going to add a new page. After adding a new page, I can paste it and make it a little bit bigger and a little bit more visible. Now I have two pages. I delete the icon and I enlarge my logo. Okay, so next what I'm going to do is very simple. I'm now going to position this, coming here to position, center, and it to be in the middle of the canvas. The same I'm going to do for this one, but I want it to be a little bit smaller, not that big. And then I'm going to also position it to be center. So when you come over here to these three dots, you can download, or you can simply get a link to share. You can even share on other social media platforms. So I'll simply want to download, and I want to download just as a PNG. So I'm going to download all the two pages. So I have over here a downloaded file which is zipped. I'm going to paste it in my work folder. So just paste it over here. I'm going to unzip by opening, and then I'm going to have both the logos here show up, which is these two. Now what I'm going to do is very simple. I'm going to now upload these to my website. So how do I do that? So I'm simply going now to come to my website, and I am going to say under the logo option, I'm going to upload a file. I'll simply drag both of them So I'll name this WooCommerce logo. I'll copy, paste the same up here, and I'll name this WooCommerce favicon. I'll copy and also use it the same as the alternate text. Now, since we want to use this for the logo, I'll select this to come into the option for the logo. So we have the possibility to crop. So I'll crop it just like that. Okay, so now we have our logo up right there. It's now been uploaded. Now the other option we have is we can reduce the logo width to make it a little bit smaller or bigger. See how that looks like. Then right down here we are going to add our site icon, which is this. Select it. We can now crop it. This is how it's going to look like, but looks really small. So if I want to make it a little bit bigger, I can come back here to Canva, can come select my icon, make it a little bit bigger like that. Then I can simply download, and I only want to download page 2, which is that. Now say download page 2. It will show up as a PNG, a single file, and that's how it looks like. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to come here. I'll delete this one in my folder. I'll paste this. I'll rename it WooCommerce favicon. I'll come back to my WordPress website. I'll close. Then I will come back to the site icon. I'm going to delete this permanently, this icon, and then I'm going to upload the new one that I made, which is bigger. Cool. So I'm going to select this, the title and the alt next text. I go next. Now you see we have it a little bit bigger and more visible. So I'll skip cropping. Boom, so now we have a site favicon looking just like this. We don't want to use the site title to display as a site title. Now when I disable this, this over here will disappear, and boom, there we go. Now we can simply hit save changes, and now we can also preview this, how it will look like on a tablet and how it will look like on a mobile device. That's how it will simply look like. So if it's on a mobile, I can say maybe I want it to be a little bit smaller, maybe around 160. And if it's on a tablet device, I can leave it just as it is. It looks good. So I'll publish. After publishing, let me just copy this over here. I go to the URL to check how now our logo looks like. Looks good. We have the site logo over here, which is an image, and now we also have the site favicon. So the other icon no longer appears, which was there by default. That's how you can create a free logo using Canva. And in case you want a complete tutorial on how you can even create a free and transparent logo using Canva, then you're going to check out this tutorial up here in the card or in the description box below to follow it up and see how you can go over that you can remove the white background on your downloaded PNG logos. In this section, I am going to show you how to accept card payments through Stripe and PayPal on your e-commerce website. If I'm to open up, let me say, one of the products over here, for example, the elephant mug, it's giving me already options to pay via PayPal. Now, if I add it to the cart, so I already have a cart over here. I'm going to delete what I don't want to be in my cart. I'll have now only one product, which is the elephant mug. The shipping method is local pickup, so there are no shipping fees. You can simply say proceed to checkout, and when you say proceed to checkout, you see down below here I have two options, and these two options include PayPal, or someone can pay us via PayPal, or someone can also pay us via Stripe using any of their cards that they prefer. So with the PayPal option, they can still send us a payment even without a PayPal account. You can simply say pay, that is after agreeing on the terms and conditions. Now over here, they'll enter in their PayPal credentials in case they have one. If they don't, they can simply say pay with a bank account or card. And over here, they'll simply enter in their details even without a PayPal account yet, and enter in their card details, and they'll be able to check out. Once they check out, automatically they will be shown their order details, and the order will also appear inside your store. In case they're not willing to pay with PayPal, they can simply choose to pay with a credit card via Stripe, and when this payment is made, it will appear in your Stripe account. Once you're accepting payments using your Stripe account, it means that you'll be able to collect payments from a variety of card users, and this means that all payments will be reflected in your Stripe account. Okay, now let's go and set up how you can integrate Stripe and PayPal payments in your e-commerce website. So back into my dashboard, what you're simply going to do is simply come over here to add new plugins. So we're going to simply search for Stripe. Once the results show up, you'll simply want to install a plugin called WooCommerce Stripe Payment Gateway. At the moment, it has over 700,000 active installs. Simply install and activate it. I already have it activated. The next thing you're going to do is search for PayPal. And once the results also show up, you'll see another PayPal plugin called WooCommerce PayPal Checkout Payment Gateway. Install it and activate it. I already have it installed and activated, and at the moment it has over 800,000 active installs. Now when I head back to my plugins area, you realize that I have both these plugins installed. Now let's get started with the Stripe Payment Gateway. When you click over here on the settings option, it will take you straight to the Stripe setup page. But before you do that, you will make sure that you want to accept payments via Stripe and PayPal in your WooCommerce website. And to do that, you are simply going to come over right here on WooCommerce under settings. Make sure that you have these two options enabled. And in this case, we're going to start up by setting up our Stripe. So what we're going to do is simply say manage. Now this will take us back to the Stripe setup page. So over here, it asks you whether you want to enable or disable Stripe. Say yes. But before you start setting up the Stripe option, make sure that you have an open and working Stripe account that you will be able to even log in and set up your Stripe keys. Once you are done enabling this, simply enter in the title, and the title will basically appear right down below here. Credit card Stripe, which is what you see over here. And then the description, pay with your credit cards via Stripe. That will also appear over here. And then if you want to change this to whatever you want, feel free to do so. And down below here, there is something called webhooks and endpoints. Now actually, details you enter in over here will connect your store to Stripe, so that whenever every payment is made over your website using a credit card via the Stripe option, they will appear in your Stripe account. So what you're going to simply do is simply log into your Stripe account. You can simply click over here, and then you'll be redirected to a login page. Once you are logged into your Stripe account, simply come over here, the developer options, go to webhooks, and make sure that you add an endpoint, and that endpoint should be that website. In this case, I already have my website added, which is this website. Okay, so once you are done setting up your endpoint and it's already live or enabled, you're going to simply come back here to API keys, and under API keys, you'll be able to create a secret key. You'll grab your publishable key and your secret key, and you'll paste those two over here, the live secret key and the publishable key here. And then for the webhook secret, you're going to simply come back over here to webhooks, click on your endpoint, and then you'll actually copy your webhook secret key and come paste it over here. Now you have to note that what we are entering in over here is connecting our website directly to Stripe, and that means that all payments that will be made will be heading straight to our Stripe account. In case you want to basically test out your store, you simply can enable this option here, but that's not what I want. I want everything to go live. So once you are done setting that up, simply save changes. Now when someone comes over here to your checkout page, they'll have the Stripe option over here. They select it, they'll enter in their card details, their expiry date, their CVV, and then they have to accept, the terms and conditions of your website, and then they can place an order on your website. So this will take them to the page, make the payment, and once the payment is done, when you come back here to your website, you go to orders, you see that there will be an order on processing. It will show that the payment was made via a credit card using Stripe, paid on that date, and the person who made the payment is this one over here, their email address and the item that they actually ordered for, and this was actually for a local pickup, including all the details down below here. So there are also some other notes over here showing you that actually Stripe completed the charge on the card. So when we head back to the Stripe account, we realize that actually that payment came through and it's already reflected in your account. Now, once you have done setting up your Stripe account, now let's head straight and see how we can set up our PayPal payments. So when we come back here to our WooCommerce website, go to settings, payments, make sure that you have enabled your PayPal checkout, say manage. You can also make changes to the title. The title is what appears up right here on this option. Then the description says pay via PayPal. You can pay with your credit card if you don't have a PayPal account. So that is what will be reflected down below here. Then what you're going to say, this is going to be a live environment. If you set test environment, that means that you will not need actually to create any of the keys. But in this case, I want us to do the live option, whereby we're actually going to enter in the API keys so that everything works just as it should. Once you have that selected down below here, you'll have to enter in your live API username, live API password, and the live signature. So to do this, we are going to log into our PayPal account. Inside PayPal, you go to your account settings. Under account settings, come to website payments. And under the website payments, you're going to come over right here to the API access option. So you simply say update. This will take you to an option down below here that we are going to select called the MVP/SOAP API integration. And this says the API allows you to accept payments via PayPal. You're going to say manage API. So under the manage API credentials, the page will straight take you to another option whereby we are going to have access to these details over here, the live API username, live API password, and the live API signature. So come back over here, we can say show the API username, simply copy this username, paste it over here, come back, show the API password, copy this, come back here, paste it, and then show the API signature, copy the signature, come back over here and paste it. By adding these options over here, it means that now you will have integrated your eShop with your PayPal business account. We're going to come down here and then you can add your brand name. Now this is basically customizing the appearance of the PayPal checkout on your PayPal site. So this you can enter in your store name, you can add a logo if you wish so, and this is a very important option of the landing page because you want that someone without a non-PayPal account, they can easily start by entering in their card details, their name, their location, and they're able to check out or to make the payment. And the other option is basically asking people to first log into their PayPal account, which we don't want. We want that even if someone doesn't have a PayPal account, they're able to check out on our store. I don't want to enable PayPal checkout on the cart page, so I leave it unchecked. So I'm going to leave the rest on default, and then I'm simply going to save changes. Once you're done saving your changes and come back to your checkout page, your visitor will be able to select PayPal as a payment option, agree to the terms. If they haven't read them, they can simply click over here, read through the terms. Once they are done, they can simply say pay with PayPal. That will direct them to a pop-up just like this over here. And then they will be able to make their payment by entering in their card details. So in a nutshell, that's how you can integrate both Stripe and PayPal on your e-store or e-shop so that you're able to receive payments from any of your website visitors, regardless of how they choose to pay. In this section of our e-commerce tutorial, we are going to look into how we are going to set up our navigation menus, both for the header and the footer of our website, to look something like this over here and just like this over here. So to get started, we are going to simply head back to our dashboard. We're going to come to Appearance, Menus, and here we are going to create two menus. We have the main menu and the footer menu. So name this main menu. We create the menu. We're going to make sure that we only add the pages that we want to appear in the main menu. The main menu is the one that is going to appear just up here. So the kind of pages we want the home, about, shop, my account, blog, and contact. So we're going to come here to the pages. We're going to say show all. We want the home, about, my account, contact, shop, and the blog, of which we haven't yet created the blog page. So I'm simply going to say add to menu. I'm going to select this to be the primary location, which is a primary menu. I'm going to reorganize this by simply dragging and dropping. When you notice that under the account page, there is something called cart. So we're going to add the cart page under the account. So I'm going to say add the cart page, and I'm going to make it be just under the account page. So we have home, about, shop, account, blog, and contact. Home, about, shop, account, and contact. So I simply save changes. That is the main menu already now created. Next, we're going to create our footer menu. So by coming up here, say create a new menu. I'm going to say footer menu. I can assign it to the footer, then I create the menu. And now I'm going to assign pages that I want to appear in the footer. Simply say show all. Then I'm going to come over here, select my terms page. Which other page should be in the footer, shop, and about. So I'm going to say shop and the about page to be in the footer. So I can interchange these to make them just suit the way I want, or you can even change, the label or the navigation label to what you want. For example, I can change this to privacy, but make sure it is actually a privacy page so that you don't confuse your website visitors. Okay, so it will appear as about, shop, and privacy policy. Okay, so at the moment I'll not make it to be privacy policy, so let me just leave it to be as terms and conditions. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to save the menu. If we go back to our pages, we show all pages, realize that we have a privacy policy page which is still under draft. So this is one that was imported once we installed WordPress. That is how it looks like. But you can simply create yours for free using free privacy policy generators online. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply just say quick edit. I'm going to say right down here on status, say published. Now this will make my page available to be added on the menus. Now it's published. I'm going to come back to menus and appearances. I'm going to come back to my footer menu. I'm going to remove the terms and conditions, and then I'm going to come over here, view all, and I look up for my privacy policy page. Then I'll add it to my footer menu, which is this. Now I'll save changes. Cool. Now we have created our footer menu and the main menu. Now let's assign our menus to our header and our footer. To do that, we're going to simply come back here to appearances. We're going to say customize. Under customize, we're going to simply come over here to the header. So under the header option, there is something called the primary menu. Already now our website is picking up our main menu, which we created, and that main menu is having these items just as it is. But remember, I want to add something special at the end of our menu, which is a cart. So what I'm going to say is simply just come over here and say last item in the menu. is going to be a WooCommerce widget, and that is going to be our cart icon appearing right just here. So in this case, we can say hide the last item in the menu on mobile. So when this is checked and I go to the mobile option, that last item won't appear, which is exactly what I want to be. So I go back to the desktop version and I'm going to simply say publish. Now we have our main menu assigned in our header and having the last icon in the menu added as our WooCommerce cart icon. Now what I'm going to do is come back here, come back to the main option, then go to the footer option, and down below the footer we're going to add a footer bar, and under the footer bar we are going to choose to have something like this, and we have to choose what is going to appear here. When you look on our other website, you realize that we have a footer bar that is one on the right and one on the left. So one on the right has actually our footer menu. So let's do that. Come back to the customize option. We're going to choose this layout, and that layout, the first section is basically going to have our text, which is the copyright information, current year, the site title, and powered by that person. So here you can change that to whatever you want: copyright, the current year, and who is running this website. So I can just simply delete what I don't want. So I'll leave just this as it is here. Okay, copyright 2020 mags. So I'll just simply leave this information over here, just like copyright at 2020 mags. And now on section 2, which is supposed to appear on our right hand side, we are going to add a footer menu, and the footer menu is, remember, what we created, and that is why you see the about, shop, and privacy policy. And that's how we are able to assign our main navigation or our main menu and the footer menu to our website. So what you simply say is to publish. Once that is published, now it will be live on our website. Now when you come to the live website, I'm simply going to reload this. You'll see that now this is going to change. Boom, it has changed to have this reflected, and down below here we have our footer reflected. In this section, we are going to design and customly create up our homepage to look a little bit more beautiful than what we see here. To do that, we are simply going to go straight into our dashboard. We're going to come to pages. Under all pages, we have our front page, which is the home page. But we need to create this home page using an awesome page builder called Elementor. So to use Elementor, we are simply going to go straight to plugins. We're going to go to install plugins, and we're going to add a new plugin called Elementor Page Builder. Elementor enables you to create beautiful websites without coding. Now this means that you can simply drag and drop widgets from one section of your page to another without having any technical skills. Once you search up Elementor, it shows up over here. Simply install and activate. In this tutorial, we'll use the free version of Elementor, though it also has a paid version that enables you to even achieve more. Once it is installed, simply activate. When activated, now we're going to go back to our pages, all pages, and now we're going to click here on edit the home page. Once here, you're going to simply now click on the option that says edit with Elementor. Cool, here we are. We are going to start by creating our very first section. So we're going to add over here a new section. It's going to be a one column section. And over here, we're going to add a background image. So we're going to simply click over here. We're going to come straight to the style option. We're going to add a background image. So by selecting the background, and we're going to say, click over here, add a background image. And I'm going to upload an image that is going to be in our background. So this is the image that we are going to be using. I add it over there. Now we are free to position it the way we want. So we can say top center maybe. And let me make this section to have a minimum height. So the minimum height for this section is going to be the VH. I'll select the VH option and make it like 70. or even 80. Okay, back to the style option. We are going to make the size of the image to cover, something like that. And you can even reposition it to any way that you feel like. We're going to come back to our widgets. We're going to select the title widget. And here we're going to add the title of our website or any welcome text. We can say Martha Max, or can say welcome to Quinta Max. And I'm going to add here a break, so something like that. And I'm going to come back here to style. I'm going to give it, a little bit bigger size. So I'll leave it in Poppins, which we chose as our default font. And I'm going to select the EM as our measurement, and I'm going to make it a little bit bigger, something like that. I'll switch this to another color, and I'm going to choose white as our color, and I can give it a text shadow. So something like very, very little blur of a darker color. Not too much. Okay, maybe I can increase a little bit on the size. Maybe 4 is enough. Okay, it still looks lacking. I can give it a complete white. Okay, I'll just leave it as it is over there, and I am going to come back here in the background. I'm going to select this section, come to style. I'm going to add a background overlay, and I'm going to make it to be a gradient. And with this gradient, it's going to run from white to transparent, to run to another white but transparent. And I'm going to make the location and also change the angle, something. Okay, now this will do me better if I make this something like that. So okay, something of that sort. Welcome to Quinta Max, and let me first update this, and then I'm going to preview to see how now this section looks like. Okay, welcome to Quinta Max. Now I'm going to give it, a little bit of transition. So I'm going to select this widget, and I'm going to come to advanced. I'm going to go to motion effects, and I'm going to add an entrance animation, which is fade in up, something like that. I'm going to update. Look at the preview. Cool, this looks nice. Now let me check the responsive settings on tablet. How does it look like? And on mobile, this is too much. So on mobile, I'm going to come back here to content and the style, typography. On the mobile, I choose EM, and I'm going to reduce it a little bit further. And I can also reduce on the height of this section. So come back here to the layout. Minimum height on the mobile is going to be a little bit, maybe a VH of 40. So a VH of 40 I think is okay, or I can even make it like 50. Okay, so back to tablet, see how it looks like. Maybe this still works, or you can simply add some padding on the other side, which is on the left hand side. But for me, this looks okay. I can simply reduce on the height, the minimum height of this section. So select VH, and I'm going to make it to be like 50. So that's it. Mobile version, tablet, desktop, that's okay. I update, I preview. Okay, this looks fine. Let's create our next section. We're simply going to duplicate this, and in our next section we are going to add our products. So I'm going to simply select a section, and I'm going to remove this background, and I'm also going to remove the background overlay. So I'm going to remove all the stylings. So I'll simply just come over here and say reset styling, and I also remove this widget. Simply edit this, and then I add in stock. I'm going to make this to be having a different color, one of the global colors, something like this. Then I'm going to add a shortcode to list our products. So I'm simply going to grab a shortcode widget, and here is where I'm going to add the shortcode for our products. So to add products on this section using shortcodes, I'm going to link up to you a document over here for WooCommerce shortcodes, especially for products, and you'll select over here which kind of layout you want that your products are displayed on your home page. In this case, I'm going to choose the newest products layout shortcode. So I'll simply just copy this. I'll come over here, paste it, and then I apply. Now that will echo all your newest products, and only 4 of them, and be shown up over here on your home page. We can say product limit 4, and we can say maybe the column is going to be only 4 columns, 1 2 3 4, or we can say it's going to be 3 columns and product limit 6 products. So that means that every other time you add a new product, it will show up right over here as the 6th product, and only 6 products will be shown up on this section of your website. So you can simply say apply. Don't worry, I'm going to leave a link to this document in the description box below so that you can link up and you can use the different shortcodes on your e-store. So now this is done. What I'm going to do is to add some padding top and bottom. I'll select the whole section. I'm going to come over here to the advanced section, and I'm going to select the EM option. I'll unlink the whole section, and to the top some padding, let me say of 2, and to the bottom 2. That's how now it looks like. Now what I'm going to do is simply update. Cool, it looks we are back. Here it shows up, and all our products are showing up over here. Now what we're going to do is we may also want to animate a little bit this other section. So we're going to give it a motion effect by coming here to advanced, come to motion effects, entrance animation, fade up in. Okay, I will update. Okay, something like that. So the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the drop shadow on this section or on this widget. So I'm going to come back here, select it, and I'm going to simply set back to the default one. So now it looks a little bit more clear and clean without a drop shadow. When you look up over here to the preview, that's how it looks like now. Now we are going to create another hero section down below here. So I can either just duplicate the first section, duplicate. I'm going to grab my navigator. I'm going to simply drag this section duplicated to the very bottom. Okay, here it is. Okay, so what I'm going to do is first I'm going to rename the sections. First section, and this section I want it to be the third section, so I'm going to be third, and this is going to be the second section. Okay, so the third section, I'm simply going to drag it to go just down below over here. Now in this section I'm going to add some kind of call to action. First of all, I'm going to remove whatever is in here. I'm going to just right click and say reset the style, and I am simply now going to add some things in here. First of all, I'm going to add a background image, come back to style. I'm going to add a background type, and this is going to be of our store inside our physical store, and I'm going to give it a minimum height. So minimum height is going to be maybe 70. I can simply just make it the same as homepage, which is an 80. So I simply come here and I am going to layout, minimum height, I give it 80. I'm going to give it an overlay color, so which is going to be a little bit green. So I'll select, come over here to background color, and I'm going to choose a color for this. So it's going to be this color. Now what we are going to do is to add, some text here. So here I'll say free shipping on orders over $99. Okay, and I'm going to add down below here some dummy text or some text. So, and I want this text to be white in color. Come to style, text color. I'm going to make it to be white. So I'm going to add a text break here. By Shift Enter, I add a text break using the widget editor, and now my text moves right to the next line. And I'm going to add a button here. So I'm going to come, look up for a button widget. I'll drag it, add it over here. I'm going to come to advanced, and I'm going to simply come over here to positioning. Width, I'm going to make it to be inline. So something like that. Come back here to our style option. I'm going to give it text color will be red, and the background color is going to be a small yellow. So I'll use custom color, not a global color. So I move this here. I'm going to come here to the border radius, so it will just be without any border radius. I'm going to come to content, and I'm going to say buy now, and here I'm going to link to the shop page. So I'm going to simply search up the shop page here in the link. Okay, it shows up, select it. Now you're good to go. You can add an icon here as you so wish. Coming to the icon library, and you can search up for a shop or cart. You can insert it after, and they are good to go. So I'm simply now going to say update. Before I preview, let me first look at how it looks like on a tablet. Looks a little bit huge, so I'm going to select the section. I'm going to come over right here to the layout, minimum height, and on the tablet I'm going to reduce it a little bit to be roughly 50, and also on the mobile device I'm going to make it a little bit taller. So I'll increase, change to VH, make it something like that. Okay, the text looks fine, the button looks okay, and for me that is fine. What I'm now going to do is simply update. Once I update, here I am. So I have my welcome text, my in stock, my products showing up, and my very last hero section with a call to action. Okay, that's how you can simply create your homepage, which is responsive and displaying all your products with even a call to action. Okay, so let's do some final touches to see that our page works exactly as it should. Let me first reload over here by clicking on preview updates. Okay, add some video animation for both these, and I'm also going to increase a little bit on the height, or actually reposition the background image. So I'll come back over here in the editor, grab this, come to the style, come to the advanced option, motion effects, then add a fade in up, and the same for the button. So I'll select the button, advanced motion effects, add an entrance animation of fade in up. Then I'm going to increase, or I'm basically going to reposition this image to see that the smile comes out really well. So how do I do that? Let me just reposition the image itself. So I come over here, select the whole section, come to style, then come down over here to custom. I'm going to basically change the Y position to make something like this, make it 230. So I view this on tablet to see how it looks like. So on tablet, the position top center, that is on tablet, and then on mobile, okay, not the best but still works. So this is on desktop, tablet, and mobile. I update. Cool. Okay, products. Yes, this looks nice and neat. Now that also we have our smile out really well. Next, what we are going to do is we're going to add a transparent header, and also we're going to make our footer. To begin off, under the customizer, we're simply going to scroll way down to the footer section. We're going to come to the footer bar, and we're going to scroll down, and down below here is where we can make changes to our color. So there is the option for the background and colors, and there is something called background and then content. So for the background, we're going to switch it to a green color. So I'm going to come back over here, grab my green color. So I'm going to simply copy this color code, come over here, paste my color code, but that's not the color I want. I want something else. I've added my color code for green, the color that I want to use. I can make it a little bit darker, so I can just simply adjust this knob here and make it look simply like a footer. Okay. Then the other thing I'm going to do is now I'll leave the text or the content option unchanged because it's giving us this color that we want, which is simply white in color. What I'm going to do is update this option by publishing. Then what I'm going to do, I come back over here, I reload. On reload, now you see that we have our footer bar changed to our green that we want. Maybe the other thing that you can add, for example, you can add some testimonials right over here on your home page. So when we come back here to the dashboard, we go to pages. We're going to open up our home page with Elementor. So on the very last section, I'm going to simply duplicate the previous one, and I'm going to remove the image, style, image, remove it, and also the background overlay. Reset this, then I'll also remove all the text and the button. So I am going to simply add a testimonial widget. So I come over here, get our testimonial widget, grab it over here, and then you can simply add your testimonials. You can even duplicate these columns. So duplicate, and you have 3 of them. And come over here, make changes to the photo of the person who is saying whatever they are saying about your store. At the moment I don't have any images here to use. Let me just upload one image. So I'll insert this image. and then I can make changes to the names of the person. So I can say this is Kwemaham, who is a designer. This is what he's talking about our store. The same we can do for the other people. I can also make changes to the colors over here and also changing the testimonial content. So just type it over here and you are good to go. So I can also have this artist, and I can also have another person who is giving us some testimonials. So this one is an artist, and this one is a marketer. So the title should go down and the name should be Sisa, and for the other one he's an artist. Okay, so basically that's how we can add some testimonials. Now we can even make changes to the image position, whether to be at the top, just like you see here, or on the side. And we can also align, our content to be either on the left or on the right. I want to leave it in the center. Come to the styles, make changes to how the image looks like, the image size, smaller or bigger, goes back to what you want. Leave it at 55. You can make changes to the name, so I simply just come over here, select my color. For all the names should have that kind of color. I can simply just come over here, select this widget, and then I'll say copy. Then I'll come to these others and then I'll paste style, come here and then I'll paste style. Now let me look at the responsive settings. Looks fine. This too looks fine, but I need to add some padding at the top and the bottom. So I select the section, come to the padding option. I'm going to unlink and select EM. I'll add a 2, even a 3 at the top and a 3 at the bottom. Okay, so I update. Let's preview. Cool, here are our testimonials, and then we have our footer bar up here. So I'm going to come back to the desktop and I'm going to add some motion effects on these testimonials. So I can simply just select this section or the widget, come to advanced motion effects, entrance animation, then I'll copy, come over here, paste style, come over here and check style is not pasting. Okay, copy, paste style, paste style, update. The motion effect has been copied as a style and pasted. Cool, it works like charm. Add a new section. I'm going to make this a header. We're dragging and dropping our header. I'm going to come over here, come to content option and say what people say. Okay, I'll remove the minimum height. So I will simply remove the minimum height. I'm going to come to advanced. I'm going to add a padding both for the top and the bottom. So I'm going to say this is going to be a 4 for the top. I can make it a 5, And for the top, I'm going to make it a 1. And then I'm going to come to the other section that has our title, and we're going to come to advanced and link, select the EM option, and we're going to make this, or actually a 4, something like this. And then come select the title, come to the style option, and come to typography. We're going to select it to have an EM, and I'm going to make it to be like a 3 or something like that. I'm going to change the text color to one of our global colors, so I'll make it the text color, or I can simply make it to be the same size of this. So I can simply just come select this title here, then I'm going to copy, come down here, and then I'll say paste style, something of that sort. Then let me check still the responsive settings. Okay, so I may have to adjust on this over here. Come to the EM option, select the section, come to layout. I'm going to remove the minimum height still, and then I'm going to come to advanced. I'll select EM, make sure the other options are unlinked. Then I'll add some padding. For the bottom, I'll add like a 3 or a 4, and for the top, I'm going to add a 1. And then let me look at the mobile version. Mobile version looks fine. I simply just need to increase a little bit on our header or heading. So I'm going to come over here, typography. I'm going to make it 3 or 2.5. Okay, looks good. Testimonial is done. I'll simply update. Look at our updated version. Super, looks fine. Before we enable a transparent header for our website, we're going to make sure that we have put up all the other pages, including the About page and the Contact page, so that even when we switch to the transparent header, both the headers and the navigation will be visible. So to do this, we are simply going to come back over here to Elementor, and the first thing I'm going to do is to save the sections that I want to reuse on all the other pages. So I'm going to simply select this section. I'm going to say save as template. I'm going to name it Hero 1. So I save this. Cool, that is saved. I'm going to go down here to this other section, and I'm going to save it as a template, and I'm going to name it Call to Action 1. That is also saved. Then I'm going to go down below here on our testimonial section, select it, save it as a template, and I'm going to call it Testimonial. Now that is done, now the next thing I'm going to do is simply exit to the dashboard. I'm going to come back here and go straight to the pages, and I'm going to open up my About page. I'll edit. I'm going to open the About page with Elementor. Okay, so here comes my About page. I'm going to now import one of the sections that I want to use or to reuse on my About page from my templates. So I'll select templates. I'm going to choose the first one, the Hero section. And then I am going to add another section, so which is the testimonial. I didn't save the whole testimonial section. I basically saved the title as a template. So let me first go back to the home page. I want to make sure that I save the whole section. So I'm going to come over here, grab and in a section I'm going to add it here, and I'm going to simply add a new column, and I'll move this content into the other section just like that. And I'm going to add some padding at the bottom of this section, so I'm going to simply come select this section, the whole of it, come add padding of EM4 at the bottom. Then I look at the tablet option, and then I look at the mobile option. They'll still look neat. I'm going to update, view the desktop version, then I'm going to save this as a template. So save as a template. This is testimonial 1. So I save that. It is saved. I'm going to delete the first one that I had saved because it only included the title. Cool. So I simply can exit my home page. I'm going to update my about page that I had started editing. I'll simply now reload the whole page. Okay, now I'm going to come over here, delete this section. I'm going to add another one, go to my templates, and I'm going to add a testimonial template. Cool, now this comes together with all the testimonials. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add another section here that talks about the author. So what I'm going to do is come over here to the blocks, and there are so many blocks that Elementor makes that you can easily choose from. So I'm going to come over here to category, choose one of the about templates, and I can simply get from the free versions or the freely available about sections to use on my website. Let me say this over here. I'll connect my website to Elementor so that I can access the template library. Okay, cool. So it looks like now I have all, what I need. So first thing I'm going to do, I may make some changes over here. So I'm going to switch up this image, and I bring up the image of my artist. So the artist is over here, and I can make some basic stylings. You can make changes to the height of the image, but this is not really advisable, otherwise it will skew up the image. So I'm simply going to delete this. I'm going to add an image widget, another one. Select our image that we want to use, insert, and you can adjust the size of the image. You can even give it a border radius. I'll change this to percentage, and I make it to be like 60%. And I'm going to unlink this. Let me make this 30, right? And I can make the left one to be something like 20 to create some kind of blob effect. What I'm going to do is come back here to the first section. I'm going to go to style. I'll remove the image over here, and I'm going to add a background image of, let me say, one of the products, and I'm going to add an overlay color that looks a little bit more nicer. So I'm going to, let me say, add a green, and I'm going to change this to about Munkweta Max. And then this is the artist. Okay, and here you can edit the info, whatever people are reading about the artist. can add your own text or information, and this call to action button can lead to any other place, or I can make this to lead to the shop. So I can say shop, and I can easily say link this to the shop page. Okay, so something of that sort. I can change this button to have our button style. So the text is going to be red and the background is going to be yellow. So I'll select a custom color, or I can simply just go back to the home page and then grab the same style for the button that we used over there. I'll add an icon if I so wish. So and it's going to be a little bit medium, and it's going to be after, but looks a little bit lacking. Or what I can do is come back to our home page, edit with Elementor. I'm going to copy this button, copy, and come to our about page. I'm going to paste the button and I'll delete the other button. Now I have this button as the same style as the one we have on our home page. So that's it. I can check up on the responsive settings. Looks okay. I can make this image come before the text. So what I'm going to do is simply come back here to the desktop option, select the whole of this section, come to advanced, come to responsive, and then you're going to say reverse column on tablet. So when I view this on the tablet, this column is going to come first, and then the content about the author. I may need to make some changes to the text color over here. Come to style so that it's a little bit visible. I'm going to give it a global color. So now it's a little bit visible. I update. Okay, preview, about, author is showing up over here, the button to shop, and some testimonials. This is the about before, and now the about page after. So we can as well save this whole page as a template, and we can use it somewhere else. To save the whole of this page as a template to reuse somewhere else, we can simply just come down below here, say save as a template, and you can say about page and save. Now since I'm done creating my about page, I'm going to simply just close or exit to the dashboard. Now I'm going to open up one of my other pages that I want to edit, and that includes the contact page. So I'm going to come over here to pages. I'm going to say edit, edit with Elementor. I'm going to import a template, and I'm going to choose from my templates, and we have the about page template that we had already created, and this is a full page template. So we have the hero section and literally every other thing. So I may simply just make changes to this and say contact Martha Mags. So I can easily just add a contact form here and add another section down below here. So the first thing I'm going to do is to add a contact form and contact information. So we can say address. You can add your contact phone, telephone. So add the physical address, telephone number, and then the box number, And you can also add all the other information that you want someone to have access to, like an email, and in case you have a specific support email or support line, you can add it over here. I'll bold these, bold this. So we have this information here. I'm going to delete this. Then I can add a contact form down below here for people to use or to send. So I'm going to delete this here. I'm going to come over here to the widgets, search for a shortcode widget, paste it over here. I'm going to update, and I'm going to come back here to my plugins area. We're going to add a very simple plugin called WP Forms. So I'll add a plugin by searching over here to get WP Forms. So over here, at the moment it has over 3 million active installs. I'll install it and then I'll activate. Once it's activated, you'll get the menu option over here. Then you can see all the forms that are available. It comes with some pre-made contact forms. So you don't have any forms at the moment, you can simply create a new one. So I'll name the one I want, or the one I'm creating. So, which is a simple contact form. So these are some pre-made templates from WP Forms. You can get a blank form, a newsletter sign up form, a suggestion form, and all that. Okay, now we will collect the name of the person who wants to write to us, their email, and their contact, and their message. That is, so I'm going to simply save this. I'm going to come, so I'm going to use a shortcode, and then I'll copy the shortcode of this, come back to my contact page editor, and I'm going to paste over here the shortcode, and I'll apply. Now that should bring up our contact form that we just created in WP Forms, and it will show up over here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust a little bit on the column width. So this can be like a 40, and this is taking up like a 60% of the whole page. And I'm simply going to update. Let me look at the preview. So have the contact form over here and our testimonials. We can add something here, another section. So I'll simply just say add a new section, and I'm going to add a call to action section. Boom. So we have this other section show up now. Free shipping. If they want to buy something based on this promotion, then they can go ahead. Simply now going to update. Okay, first hero section, the contact form here, the hero section, and the testimonials. Let's look into the responsive settings to see that everything is responsive. Okay, all looks fine, and that's it. So in a nutshell, that's how we have now finished up setting up our about page and the contact page. So in the next section, we are going to enable a transparent header for only specific pages on our website. So in this section, we are going to enable a transparent header for our website, so that our header over here will sit on our hero section. That is for only the enabled sections of this website. So let's head straight to the pages or to the main website. Okay, so this is how our site looks like on the home page, then on the about page. That's how it is. And shop page shows all our products over here. Then also the account, the my account and the cart page, these are all related to the shop page. And then we have the contact page, which we just designed in the previous section. Shows up pretty nice. Then we have the other pages, which is the privacy policy and the terms and conditions. So we won't need to work on any of those. So to enable a transparent header, we are simply going to come back here to our website. So we'll come back to the dashboard of our website, come to appearance, and then we're going to say customize. Under customize, we're going to come to header, and there is an option called the transparent header. So we can enable the transparent header on the complete website, and we can even use a different logo for the transparent header. Or we can simply enable it on the desktop version, mobile version, or both the desktop and the mobile version. In this case, I'm going to enable it only on the desktop version of our website, so that on the mobile it will stay without transparency. But also we want to enable it on specific pages. So when I select enable on complete website, I'll disable on the 4 and 4 and search pages. Yes. I'll also disable it on the blog pages. I'll also disable it on the latest posts. That is if I'm going to be blogging or writing some content. And then I can also choose to disable it on pages or even disable it on posts. So I'll also disable it on posts. I can also disable it on Woo product pages. So what I'm going to do is also to disable it on Woo product pages, because I don't want this to be seen on any other pages that are related to WooCommerce. So what we are seeing right now is a transparent header on our website. So what I'm going to do is simply say publish. When I publish, I'm going to come over here now to our contact page. I'm going to reload, and you'll see that now we have a transparent header over here. And that's it. So now our job is to work on the first hero section so that we have a little bit more space between the header and the first content on the hero section. So I'm going to come back to our contact page. I'm going to come over here, select the section, come to advanced, and then under padding, I'm going to unlink, give it an EM. The top padding, I'm going to add something like a 4. That is basically to compensate for the header and the navigation that is going to get into our hero sections. Okay, let me update and have a look at how this looks like. Come to our contact page, going to reload. Don't worry about the logo being dark, and the menu, we're going to work on that. Cool, now it looks a little bit better with more compensation for the logo and the navigation. Now if we check on Woo product pages, including the shop page, boom, you realize we do not have the transparent header enabled on this page. The same for my account page, and also it should be the same for the cart page. Okay, and that is exactly what we have set up over here, that the transparent header is disabled on Woo product pages. Now what we need to do is to go back on the home page and the about page to add the little bit of compensation, which is an EM of 4 on both those pages, so that the header looks a little bit neat. So what I'm going to do is come back, exit this to the dashboard, I'm going to open up my about page, and I'll also open up my home page, both of them using Elementor. I'll select my first hero section on the about page, come to advanced, come to EM, I'll unlink, I'll add an EM of 4. Come back to the home page, select the first section, come to advanced, EM, I'll unlink and give it at the top an EM of 4 too, and then I update. So I'm going to go and preview. Let me look at my home page. Cool, we have enough compensation for the header and the first section. Let me go to the about page and look at that. Cool, also has been affected. Now what we are going to do is do some styling for our logo and the navigation, so that wherever there is a transparent header that is on the contact, about, and the home, it is a little bit visible and easy for someone to spot. So let's do that in the next section. So now let's get started to style up our header and the navigation. We are going to go back to our dashboard, come to the appearance section, go to customize. So under the customizer, we're going to come to the header. We're going to go to the transparent header, and we're going to use the options below here. First thing, we're going to add a little bit of a slight transparent background on the navigation. Okay, so something like this. It will be white, something like that. Still, our transparency for the whole header is still active, but we add a little bit of white so that our text is a little bit visible. Once that is done, I'm going to go to the menu option, and for the menu option, we are going to change this, the link color text. The link color text is going to be this color. So I copy this, I paste. Or if we don't want this, I can simply just select any other color, so that this is going to be the link once the link is active. So for the links in our navigation, which are these links, these will be the colors. However, if someone is hovering on that link, it will turn onto another color. But in this case, I want to use a very different color, and I'm going to use a green. So I'm going to come over here, I'll copy a link. It's not going to be on the hover option, it will be on the normal option. I'm going to make this green, and then for the hover, we want it to turn into black. So I'm going to make this black. Link on hover, it will turn black. So when someone hovers, or if the link is active, it turns into black. That is done. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to change this icon into a different other color. So I'm going to go back, again back, come to the global option, colors and base colors. And here we're going to add our text colors, or our colors that we already selected to use. So for the text, we will use this. And for the theme, we can pick the theme color code. Okay, and for the links, I copy this, paste for the links. Now this is applying globally on our website, not in the transparent header. Then link on hover. So link on hover, we copy this color code, come back here, paste it. So the link on hover, this is now also applying on a different section of our website. You realize the link color makes this icon here to switch up the color. Now it looks a little bit not really visible, so I'm going to a little bit increase on the background, but still it will stay transparent. So I come back, header, transparent header, background. I'm going to increase it a little bit more. something like that. Then I'm simply going now to publish. Now I am going to come over here to our live website. I'm going to reload. This is the before and this is the after. Realize that we still have our transparency over there. When I go to the about page, for example, you see that our header still is transparent and everything looks a little bit clear. Then over here we have our cat icon. When you hover over it, takes you over straight here. If I view, for example, I go to the shop page should not have a transparent header according to our settings. You see it's normal and it looks pretty fine. Navigation and the products look fine, the buttons and the styling looks pretty much fine. When I open up a single product, cool, have this looking pretty fine. The colors, the hover, the tags and the buttons. In this section of our e-commerce tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can manage orders and order emails. Once you logged into your e-commerce website, under the dashboard section, come to WooCommerce, click on orders. On this dashboard, it will display all the available orders, all those that are processing and even those that are cancelled. For example, I made a purchase or an order which is indicating processing at the moment, and that was on the 5th of October. When I open up that order, it will detail what I ordered or what that client ordered on your website, how they made the payment, the order details or the order number, and the billing and also the shipping address, including all the contact information. Down below here, it will include the item that the client ordered and how they are going to receive the item, either via shipping or local pickup. This is all generated from the checkout when they are making the payment. Below here, it will show how much the order was and what the client offered or what the client actually paid. On the side note, there are some order actions you can add. For example, you can email an invoice or order details to the client. You can resend a new order notification. You can regenerate download permissions. You can as well add, personal notes over here on this order. For example, packing order from store. That is in case you are packing or kind of processing the order within your store. Then you can add a private note. Now this will be only for you or any other person who is accessing the orders dashboard or who can access your orders dashboard on your store. Now this is only to you, but you can also add a note that is going to be sent to the client. For example, we are experiencing delays. However, we are working on your order. Now, when I say add a note, having selected note to customer, this will be sent to your customer in their inbox. And once it is sent, this is how it will appear like. Now, where is it sent? It will be sent to the email of the customer, which they fed in at the checkout point. Now, when I go straight to my inbox, I'm logging in right now as the customer. I'm going to check in the junk folder because apparently most of the emails that are coming from my e-commerce store, they are showing up in the junk folder. I'm going to show you how to fix that in the next video. But for now, we want to look at how this note looks like that you've added. Now, this is how it looks like. The title is not added to your Munkweta Mugs order on the 5th of October. And here it says a note has been added. Here it says, "Hey Kwema, the following note has been added." And here is a message: "We're experiencing delays. However, we are working on your order." And it brings them back again here with the order summary and whatever they ordered. And it closes by saying, "Thanks for reading." Maybe you have a question. how is this email all generated to look just like this? And that's why we have to look into the order email settings for your e-commerce website. So now we head back to our order. This is the order and this is the custom note we added, and that custom note has been delivered to the client. Now, how do we make sure, or how do we customize our email templates are going to look like? For example, like changing the color and whatever information is going to show up here in the email. When you come back here to your dashboard and you go straight to the settings option, over right here there's something called emails, and under emails there are several types of emails that will be sent out. New order emails, these will be sent to you who is a recipient. If a client cancels an order, you'll receive an email, and if there is a failed order, you'll still receive an email, and all these other templates. But in this case, we are going to look into the customer note template, and this email is sent to the customer. So when I open up this, it is going to show us the type of template and how it looks like when it is going to be sent to the client. For example, down below here, it shows customer note emails are sent when you add a note to an order, which we did. And the subject, you can specify your own subject, but by default it is showing not added to your Monkweta mags, which is the subtitle, and then the order from that date. And down below here is the email heading. A note has been added to your order on that website, which is this over here. Now you can add custom email headings over here the way you want, and the additional content, which is thanks for reading, is what you are seeing down below here. You can also at the same time customize that or add your custom text to what you want. Down below here, you are saying you want to send an HTML email or a plain text. It is, what you decide. In this case, it is HTML. HTML comes up when it is perfectly styled and looks a little bit neat. If it is plain text, you won't have this kind of stylings in the email that will be sent out to your client. Now, on the other hand, you can also make changes to other email types that are going to be sent out to your client, or even the email templates that will be sent out to you when you receive a new order, when an order is cancelled, or in a case whereby someone wants to reset a password. All these can be customized by you. For example, if there is a new order, you receive an email in your inbox, and if I open this to manage the template, it shows that yes, this is enabled and the recipient is me. You can even copy in other recipients of this email who you want to receive an email once you have a new order. And the title, it is a site name and the new order number. When I go here in the inbox, we received an email once there was a payment or once there was a new order that was placed. And when I open this email, for the email subject, it is showing a site title and a new order number, which is what we are seeing here, the site title and the new order number. Then on the email heading, it is basically showing the new order and the order number. So it is showing the word new order and the order number. And then down below here, it is adding also additional content. Congratulations on your sale. Basically, WooCommerce is sending me an email to congratulate me on sending or on making a sale. And now down below here, they add the order details of that client. So basically, that's how it looks like. Now, how do you customize the look and feel of these HTML email templates that you send out? Now, still under your WooCommerce settings, under the email options, simply just scroll down below here and you will see the from name. The from name is basically adding like your site title or how actually your emails are going to look like when they are sent out to another person. Okay, and the from address is this email address, which is our admin email address, and we have our inbox right over here, like I showed you already how you can even create this email address from your hosting cPanel. Then down below here we have the email template. So when you click over here, it shows you a preview of how the email template will be looking like. Okay, now we are not interested in this at the moment, so we can add a header image by adding a URL over here. This is a URL for the image from your media library. You simply just go to the URL and then copy and add the header image. This can be your site logo. The footer text, it is adding the site name, and then it's built with WooCommerce. This is custom text that you can easily add up to your email templates, and that is what it is showing up over here. You see? You can as well remove it in case you don't want it to appear on your footers. The base color, this is showing up the base colors of your email template. In this case, I'm going to switch this to another color. So I'm going to choose, this will work best, a green. And then that is the base color. And then the background color will stay as it is. The body background color will stay as it is. This is the body background, which is this. So the body text color will stay as it is, just in dark black. And I'm going to simply save changes. Now let me go and preview how our email template is going to look like. Now when I click over here, of course only the color is going to change because we made changes to the color. So this is how it looks like from the previous one. Now that means that all our emails that are going to go out, they will go out with this kind of theme, the color, and the rest will stay as it is. So in a nutshell, that's how you can set up your emails, where you want them to be sent and how they are going to look like once they are sent out to the client. On the other hand, if we go back to the orders under WooCommerce orders, you can of course cancel, delete, or even refund orders. For example, if I come over here on this cancelled order, I can see what items the client was trying to order and how they wanted to order and when they wanted to order, their address and all these details. That means that if someone reached on the checkout page and they actually didn't check out, you can even follow up them with an email and ask them what really stopped them from making an order. And I'm going to create a separate video about cart abandonment recovery that can help you convert clients who actually abandon their carts on the checkout. On the other hand, you can trash an order, for example, by clicking over here. Boom, that order is now trashed and you no longer have that order in your order list. Over right here, if for example an order has been processed and delivered, you can simply just come over here and say order completed. So or order is on hold, or for example order refunded. In this case I want to say order completed. Then I'm going to simply say update. Once the order is completed, of course the client is going to receive an email in their inbox and say that today from this website you're receiving an email that your order is complete. When I check over here, you see it has our new email template. It says thanks for shopping with us. This is a template that was set up in the email templates on the complete order emails, and it starts with thanks for shopping with us. It starts with the client's name and then it says that your order has been completed, just like as you see here. So in a case whereby you want to add some other order notifications like email an invoice or order details to the client, you can simply select over here and say update. Now this will also still send out an email to the client. Please don't worry on the fact that these emails are now being delivered to the client in the junk box. I'm going to link up a video in the description box below where all your emails that are sent out to your clients are not delivered to the junk folder, that all they should be sent to the inbox. Now let's check up for the new order notification that we added, invoice to order. It says order invoice, hi Kwema, here are the details for your placed order on the 5th of this. It includes all the details about this order, what they ordered, and the payment method that they actually used to make the payment. So you can always come back to your order or to that specific order the client made, and you can make a couple of adjustments and even send out order notifications to the client.
So in the previous section, I showed you how you can manage your orders and emails for your e-commerce website, but I also promised to make a video on how you can make sure that your emails are delivered to the inbox of your clients or to the inbox of your admin email, which is this webmail. Now let's get started on how we can set that up. Number one thing we're going to do is we're going to come back here to the plugins area. We're going to add a new plugin. Okay, here we will search for a plugin called Post SMTP. It is a free plugin you can use to improve email delivery to your business email or to a personal email or emails of your clients. So here it shows up and you can easily install and activate. I have it installed. I will simply activate. It runs you through a simple quick setup guide. So when it shows up over here in the plugins area, you're going to simply say settings, or click on settings, and you can simply say start wizard. So you click on the start wizard to set up this. Now here you enter the email address and name you would like to send mail as. So your emails will go as admin at that, and the name that will appear of that email address will be this name. So you can make changes to this either way you want, but you have to make sure that you have this email already open, and you can always make changes to the name as you so wish. So I already have the email open up here, and now what I'm going to do is simply click on next. I'll go and enter in my outgoing server host name. The outgoing server host name can be gotten once you log into your cPanel account under the email section, or if you log into your email, you're simply going to come up over here to the email, then click over here to configure mail client. This will load up a page that looks something like this. Set up mail client for that business email. Scroll down, and under the mail client manual settings, choose the secure SSL /TLS settings, and you're going to look up for the outgoing server. So the outgoing server here is mail.go-woo.com. Come back over here, and then you enter in here your outgoing host name. Click next. Now here it will test and try to establish a connection between your site and the host name that you entered. Once it is successful, it will show up this option over here. And now what you're going to do is to select your SMTP port that your server or hosting provider provides for you to send out emails. And in this case, it is 465. How do I know that? It is indicated over here. SMTP port is 465. So I'll come over here, select 465, and then I'll click next. And here I'll enter in the username. The username in this case is the email address, and the password is the actual password for logging into your email account. Simply feed those in here and then click next. And here they ask you select notify service to notify you when an email is failed to be delivered. Here I'll choose email as the option. I'll click next, and then I'll say finish. Now in case you want to go into the manual settings, you can still do that once you are done with this process, but as it is at the moment, it's ready to go. Your site will be able now to send out emails straight into your business email inbox, which is this over here, rather than them going into the junk folder. Whenever you receive a new order, or whenever someone contacts you via the contact box or any form of contact via your website, and you have to receive an email, those emails will be delivered in the inbox rather than them showing up in the junk folder. So when we go back and look into the manual settings, when you click over here on show all settings, this plugin gives you the option to set up the type of vendor you want to use, for example, SMTP or Gmail or Madril or SendGrid or Mailgun. So in case these others are actually paid services, but in this case we are using the free service that is available once you have the hosting package, and that means that you can easily set up your SMTP. But in this case we're using the free option, which is the SMTP host service. And then down below here are the transport settings, just like we added them, and basically this is what we configured in the quick wizard setup. And on the fallback option, you can choose to use a fallback just in case the default settings that you entered don't work. You can always enter in here a fallback option so that when the others don't work, you can always use these others. We won't need to set up this for now. Then the other option, you may want to prevent that other plugins or themes that you install, that they don't change the settings. This means that whenever your emails will be sent from your website, they will be sent from this email, and the sender will appear as this person. Now for other plugins, when they send out an email, for example, let me say a contact form plugin may decide to use the from name as the contact form name or the form name itself. But in this case, if you wish to force that every email that goes out of your website should have the email as this one and the name as this one, then feel free to make sure that you check these options. And then in case you want that emails are validated before sending an email, feel free to do that. But of course, here they say this may fail with some newer domains. And then in case you want that every email that is sent out of your website or the email that is coming out of your WordPress website can be copied to other people, and at the same time you can add several recipients of that same email, and at the same time you can say whenever an email is sent, automatically it will reply to this other email. Okay, so you can enter in here the email, for example, admin@go-woo.com. Now that means whenever someone hits reply, whenever they receive an email from your website, for example, when they come over here to this email and they hit reply, automatically the email that will be sent to will be this email that you enter in over right here. But in this case, I'm not going to make any changes over there. This basically shows you the delivery frequency or how emails are being sent out from your website. You can enter in here the number of email logs that you want to show up in your log list. That is, for example, when you come over here on the menu icon for Post SMTP, come to email log, it will list all those emails or the previous emails that have been sent out from your WordPress website. You see, these have been sent, this has been sent, this has been sent, and it will also give you a solution and show you, hey, this has been actually sent and all is good. Now let me test if our emails from our WooCommerce website, for example, for an order someone made, can be delivered into their email inbox that is outside of our domain. So in this case, I'm going to make a small update on this order. Okay, let me come back here to orders. We're going to open up this order once again. And I'm going to say email invoice or order details. So I'm going to say update. Now this is going to send an email to our client on this email address. Now when we go into the email address, check the inbox, boom, you see that now we have an email in the inbox of our client who made the order. And this is one thing that we wanted to configure. Now in a case whereby your client repeatedly receives your store emails in their junk folder, please ask them to open up that email if it's in the junk, and then ask them to come over here to the three dots or come to that email and then say add to save senders. This email over here will be added to a save sender, and whenever those emails will be sent to your client from your website, they will be delivered to the inbox. That is in case it fails to work when you use the Post SMTP plugin. However, if an email is going to be sent to the inbox of your own business email, for example, we send new order notification, the chances are higher that those emails will be delivered. Okay, now let's go and check if this email has been delivered in the inbox of our business email or our WooCommerce site email. So I come back here, check the inbox. Boom, here it is. It has sent me a new order notification and it has been delivered to the inbox. This, at least I guarantee, it will work 100%, and you don't have to be worried about receiving or not receiving your emails in the inbox of your business email from your e-commerce website. So in a nutshell, that's how you can improve your email delivery from your e-commerce website to your business email, but also to your client email inboxes. Okay, so we are almost done with creating our WordPress e-commerce website. Now, what we need to check before we actually launch our website are two things: the website speed and website mobile responsiveness. Because if your website is not responsive or even fast enough, it will be really hard for people to access it and even use it. So to test for our mobile responsiveness, we are simply going to go to a live page of our website, and I'm simply going to do something like this. And this is basically
wanting to view how this website is going to look like on the mobile version, or I can simply right click and say inspect, and here I'll choose the device of which I want to view my website on, for example iPhone 6, 7 and 8. And now this is how it will look like. And in case I spot any section that doesn't look pretty nice, I can simply go back to the editor and make changes to that section. Let me look over here to the about page. That's how it looks like. For me, this looks nice and neat, no issue. When I go to like the shop page, this looks really nice. Now when I go to the actual mobile phone, so I'm going to open up on the actual phone over here, add a new tab, go-woo.com. So I view the actual mobile responsiveness on an actual device to see how it looks like, or if it actually matches what I'm seeing over here on the screen. So opens up the home page. So let me look here at the home page. Oh, it looks really beautiful. I like what I'm seeing. I scroll down, I'm seeing the products and the other sections, and yes, I see also the shop. When I go to the about page, opens up over here, the images. Okay, this looks nice. When I click over here in the menu, I go to the shop page. The shop page is over here. Products are showing up pretty nice and sweet. The filter, if I open up one of the products by clicking on the product, opens up here, looks fine, including all the product descriptions. And if I'm to look into the contact page, looks fine, contact form here, the information, and yes, looks pretty fine on both the responsive version here on the browser, but also on the responsive version here on the mobile device. So in a nutshell, that's how you can check for how responsive your website is on the desktop version or using your browser, but also on the mobile phone. And in case you see any inconsistencies or anything that needs to adjust, you simply just go back to your website, to that specific page, and make the necessary changes. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make sure that your website is secure. And by secure, it means that your website should have a padlock sign in the browser. Just like when you come over here to the website, you see that now my website has a padlock and it says secure when you click on that padlock. So how do you do that on your website in case it doesn't have an SSL? At the moment, I'm using the freely available free SSL, and the free SSL I'm using is called Let's Encrypt, which is provided by my host in my hosting control panel. So when I enter into my hosting portal, you simply just come right down here below, you go to SSL management, and under the SSL management, it will list your domains and the applicable SSL certificates. At the moment, it is showing pending, but it's already active and it's working. And here it is set to auto renew. It is a free certificate, and I think it takes about 90 days and then it auto renews, so you don't have to worry about it. Once it is activated, in case you're using the HostGator as your hosting service provider, you don't have to do anything on your side of the website. However, if you're experiencing some issues with the SSL, or in case it's not showing the padlock sign or it doesn't bring up the S, you can simply come back over here to your dashboard. You're going to come to settings and you're going to simply come over here to general and make sure that your site address is set to HTTPS and your WordPress URL is set to HTTPS. This will prompt you to log out and then log back in. But before you come and make these changes here, make sure that you have enabled your SSL, or that your SSL is enabled in your hosting control panel over here. Then what you're going to do is now you're going to go to the SSL checker and enter in your domain and check for the SSL. I use different tools to make sure that I'm getting consistent results. So in this case, I already entered in here my domain and it shows that yes, the SSL certificate is active and it is being supported and works pretty fine at the moment. This is what I'm seeing over here, and here it says it expires in 71 days, and the type of SSL is called Let's Encrypt, which is a free SSL certificate. So in a nutshell, that's how you can easily add an SSL to your WordPress website, especially for a website whereby you're going to be accepting transactions and storing your user information. An SSL is mandatory and required to have on such a website. So after enabling your website an SSL, then I can simply say you are good to go, and now all looks fine.
Thank you so much for watching this tutorial. I'm happy that you have reached this far, and I hope I somehow brought you value and that you've learned a couple of things on how you can get started selling online or basically building your first website. Now, before I close this up, I want to mention that there are some links in the description box below in case you want to jump into a certain section of this video. I've added those timestamps, but I'm also adding more videos that may help you to enhance or even better your e-commerce website, like creating coupons, like also limiting cart abandonment on your website, and a lot more. Please check out those other videos in the description box below. But in case you have any questions or comments, let me know down in the comment box below. And if you're new to the channel, please don't forget to subscribe. And if you like this video, please give it a like. That actually helps me out. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in my other videos. Goodbye.